we go. It wouldn't show up last time. Gentlemen, 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 gentlemen. How the devil are we? There we go. It wouldn't show up. Oh, you don't want to hear me repeating myself. People have enough of me first time watching. And let's get the stream shared, and then we will be off and ready. Maybe having a little guest in the comms box tonight will be a nice little touch. Being my home Grand Prix and all that, you know. So make sure I got the right one. Bear with me, lads. Just getting me stream sorted. The man has joined. Hilly, how we doing, my brother? Tuck, hello, my friend. How are we? There we go. Stream is shared. Hilly, Stiggy, you there, mate?
Yes, I am. Hello.
There we go. Yes, hope you're well, buddy. Nice to have you in the box tonight, mate.
Thank you. It's a bit of a rare occasion, this one. I said, yeah, a bit of a rare one tonight. Not normally how I was bet Wednesdays to go.
But we're in Spain tonight. Stiggy. So, mi casa es tu casa, hombre. My house is your house.
¿Dónde está Bea?
Yo estoy aquí en Tarragona. I am in Tarragona, in my house, just south of Barcelona. We're going to have an absolute large one tonight. But the only thing we're not allowed to do, evening lads, I'm seeing your comments file in, but I'm just, you know Mickey by now, I can't multitask. I'm just about to find the championship standings. We're going to run through them. The only thing we're not allowed to do in DTS Horner division is we're not allowed to laugh at Manic when he spins.
I am allowed to do that because you do realise that I employ him. He's my driver. So I am allowed to snap at him because his contract's on the line for next year if he doesn't misbehave. So
boom, shakalaka, news break, news flash. You've heard it here first. So right, let me just run through the standings quickly. We got his name's Milan, but we call him Wednesday show only Milan. He's on 300 points in first place. So, followed by Hassan on 281, Egolf Hazard on 223, JT Cod. You know Rattigan. I don't know if you can see the chats, mate, but you know Rattigan. He pops it with the Spanish every Wednesday, mate. Even more now that we're all in Spain this weekend, mate. So JT Cod's on 222. Skizzo's at the man on form, got back to back, I believe. The last two victories on 202. Your mate Trouser, I'm not gonna lie, he's my mate as well. He's in
everyone's mate.
Yeah,
he was actually my colleague first. So
I've heard he gets around a little bit, so I've heard he's everyone's mate. Yeah. One thing you're gonna find on a Wednesday, Stiggy, maybe a bit. I'm serious a little bit. Sunday and Tuesday, I do try and keep it serious, but Wednesday we just have an absolute crack on Wednesdays. So
I can make that happen. Don't you worry.
So we got Trouser in 6th. We got Teabag on 158 in 7th. Tuck 154. We got Brasco on 135. We got little Pigeon on a 128 in 10th. We got Mac and Cheese 125 in 11th. We got the Rat Man, Rattigan, Como Esta, the Spanish speaker himself in 12th on 111. We got Speechy, the little knobhead. He's my mate Speechy, so I'm allowed to call him that. He's in 13th on 104. We got F1 Dave Riley on 90 points in 12th. Evening, Danny boy. I'm seeing your messages, lads, but let me run through the standings and I'll be with you. Woomax on 16th place, and on 63 we got Grant, Grant brings the showpiece every week in this lobby. He absolutely brings the showpiece. We got him on 60 points to 17th. We got Dino in 18th place on 56. We got Stevie, your driver,
He's not here
Stiggy.
tonight.
He's
Not here
not. He's
tonight,
not.
no.
Did you? I see you put a message up earlier trying to recruit
Did not get anybody. I actually asked Manic if I could take the seat myself, but I was told I'd be too quick. So,
Oh well, there we go.
which I think is a bit unfair. I mean, put it onto a poll in the. Put it onto a poll in the chat, guys. If you think I should, if I stayed in the comms box and raced as well, what do you reckon there?
That could be a shout. That could be a shout. And let's add a little bit more spice to it. He's not allowed to qualify. He's got to start from the back of the grid, and no ifs, no buts. He's got to start on the hard tyre.
I'd do that if I was allowed. I'd do that. It's. I mean, it's not my decision, but I know Trousers watching. If anybody else is up for it, I will do it. No practice, not a single bit of practice.
Imagine that, having a guy in the comms box who also is on the track. And also, I don't know if you've watched the last few streams, Stiggy, but we've kind of got a little group, that we've created in this group. And in this lobby, we've got two guys who have started a band together, and that is your mate Manic and Dale, the Grim Sleeper, and we call them Wrong Direction. That's their name.
Good.
Because they're always facing in the wrong direction. So and we're starting a tour. We're going to do a tour next year. We're going to start off in Margate, I think it was. Then we're going to go to Bognor Regis. Then we're going to find another venue. But the last venue we're going to have it in Brighton. No, that was it.
You've just told me here you haven't mentioned Skeg Vegas, which I think is actually a little bit upsetting.
It's a shout. We could always add dates. We can always add dates to the tour. So we're going to start in Margate, Margate, Bognor Regis. Then we're going to have, where was the third one? We was going to have one in Brighton. We're going to finish in Speechy's favourite place, Blackpool. But now we might move date number 4 to Skeg Vegas, and then we'll finish in Black. And there's my knobhead little mate. There he is, Speechy. Buenas noches, my mate. We're just talking. Talking to Stiggy, who's in the comms box with me tonight. Telling him, Speechy, how much you love Blackpool. It's your favourite place. You go there 2 weeks every year. You rent a caravan out, and you go there for 2 weeks every year, my mate's speech. But yeah, look, so we've got Dale here. Oh, this is the thing, I take the whole intro just trying to go through the go through the standings. 20th place, we've got Grim Sleeper on 27 points. We've got the man, the legend himself, Maverick, the legend. He's on 21 points in 21st place. There we go. We got Scotty, who's actually debuted last week, but he can't race tonight. He's on 22 and 6. He's 22.16th. 22nd place on 16 points. All these numbers, mate, they get to me. Cavalis, who I believe is no longer in the chat, or no longer in the lobby. He's booked it, packed it, and bucked off the fella. We haven't even mentioned him. We've got Divvy, who's had a bad bit of luck, couple of turn 1 clean outs. He's in 24th place on 15 points. We've got Mitch Chase on 14 points. We got Wiggy, can't you see? He's on 7 points, and we've got Brashman, the Globetrotter. He's not even scored a point. So
he was, I think, most recently in Hanoi, actually, in Vietnam, I think.
But there we go, mate. Perks at working at an airport, fellas.
There you go.
So we got in first place United. They're on 458. We got Slipstream on 392. We got Spartan Phoenix on 334. JT Golf on 313. Racing Legends on 310. We got, I never call this by the real name, we got Sankayaded Motorsports on 292. We got ART Racing on 250. We got Porsche Racing on 244. What's going on? I ain't called your team out yet, Stiggy. Oh, there you are. Look, you're in 9th place.
Yeah, to be honest, it's been I mean, you know, I'm not. It hasn't been. We've had some, you know. It's fortunate for Steb. He's had a few sort of working nights. You know, he's working nights. So it's been a bit unfortunate. Now, obviously, Manic. Manic, you heard the rules that Mick was happy to, you know, like lay out for me and stuff to stay at the back here. I mean, obviously, as you're the admin of one of the admins of PGR, and I'm representing my own team. If you sing Peaches, it's still a no, but it'll make me race better. Peaches, 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 Peaches. How's that? Please let me race. Come on. He wants, please. We all want it in the chat.
I
Ready
will
up
have
if you.
it. That's
I'll have
gonna
it.
be. That would be manic. I'm not gonna. I know Stiggy's got a bit of pace about him, but if he starts taking
I'll
too
start from
many
the back.
place, I'll put him off. But that's got to be a PGR first.
Come on,
PGR
mate.
first. Having a commentator in the comms box. Why driving on track? That's got to be an absolute first for PGR.
Come on, you gotta let me do it, Manic. Come on. I'll start from the back on the hards. I will. I'll start from the back on the hards. I've obviously had no practice, but I'll do it.
Right, at the
Please.
moment we got 7 viewers. Obviously, it's down to the admin's decision. I completely respect that, but we've got 7 viewers in the stream. Ratigan, Tuck, I know you boys are in there. Speechy, you boys are in the chat. What are you thinking on that? Will you allow Stiggy to race while in the comms box? Obviously, the final decision rests with Manic. Pirate Danny's on the track. Pirate Danny's on the
Yeah, I know, my
track.
bloody teammate on the Sunday says he'll take me out if I do. Danny, but that's not very nice, mate, because we're Team Mercedes, mate.
Yeah, but
Only if you race on wets in the dry. Yes, you can race if he's on wets. What if I do 1 lap on the wet tyres? Is that alright? If I start on the hards, I've got to do a lap on the wets, and then I'm allowed to move to actually like do a race at that point. Is that alright?
Speechy, to answer your question, Speechy just put in the chat if he's faster than me. Speechy, to give you a bit of background on Stiggy, he races on a Sunday and a Tuesday in the highest divisions possible. So he's come back with wets the whole time, wets the whole time. So yeah, Manic, it's down to you, mate. It's down to you. The only thing I will say is obviously we got a championship on the line, so that's the only thing.
I'll only fight for the win. It'll be alright.
So there we go. And then if you do manage to get up there, obviously, or we could even have it, you can race just for the fun of it and points don't count. You can there's another, I know your team needs points desperately, but there's obviously we're waiting for Manic to speak.
He's telling me to bore off, and this is bad, man. This is it.
Well, you're gonna have to stay. You're gonna have to stay in. You're gonna have to stay in the comms box with me.
He's allowed to race if he's not on tyres at the start of the race. That's a little bit unfair. I can't really do that.
What we got? We got 15 in the lobby. We got Wednesday only Milan. He's in the lobby currently. Still to pick his car. We call him Wednesday only Milan because he only turns up on a Wednesday. But he's actually leading the championship, so I'm not surprised that he's actually coming into the lobby at the minute. So we've got obviously your
low fuel mode only. Daddy low fuel mode only.
So we're all ready. We're getting ready now. We're waiting for a few more stragglers to get into the lobby. We've got a couple of minutes left. What we got now? We got 2 minutes to 9. Well, no, 2 minutes to 8. Well, no, right. We're in Spain. 2 minutes to 9, lads. That's what we're getting. You're living on my time at the minute. You know.
I will state a couple of things here that I remember from my league race I did here a few weeks ago. I think Spain actually being one of my best tracks. Actually, I think I actually got a pole here. I think I was on pole here for the race on the Tuesday, and then I got disconnected at the end of the session. However, it's worth knowing. I'll try and find the times here.
Right, Stiggy, can I just hold you there? We have an ongoing thing for the last couple of weeks. My mate is just about to join the lobby, so we got to play him in.
Yes, he's back. Back again.
Maverick's back. Tell your friends. I'll play him in every week, my mate Mav. There we go. There's he gets entrance music. He gets entrance music every week, does Mav, my mate Mav. So we're just waiting him to hold his end up with a bargain. There, the governor's arrived. Guess who's back? Get in there, my mate Mav. Hope you're doing well, Mav. Right, so let me get me stream up on my phone.
So, looking at the poll time here then. So the poll time I set back in a few weeks ago was a 10.95. So, I mean, to be honest, I think we're expecting drivers to be in sort of the 11.3s. I think here might be a decent pole time.
Yeah, it
I
could
mean,
be.
looking at the people who've got sort of on the on this, I mean, look at the likes of I mean, Rostocker and maybe like a sort of I think Rostocker was a 10.4 that day. But I think sort of a mid 11. I think, sorry, will be a very good time to put on the board. One thing I do note, which I will actually announce to all the drivers who are watching the stream today, the second lap is faster than the final lap because there's too much rubber on too much pickup on the ground. So actually, your fastest lap is the second lap you do, not the third in quali.
There you go. I didn't even know that. Have a shout there. Have a shout in the comms
Really
box.
weird.
I'll
It's
sting
really
it.
weird in here for this track, but that's the information we've got here. 15 drivers doing today. It would be 16 if Manic wasn't such a tight ass.
Yeah, bit of a bit of a poor turnout. Normally we got a full lobby, but we got your usual suspects in here. We got Pirate Dan, and just another inside knowledge. I've seen Dino's not in the lobby tonight. He might join later. Pirate Danny in a Wednesday lobby is no longer known as Pirate. We call him Natalie Pinkham.
Oh, right, okay. Why? Because he's got tits, or...?
No, because normally he was my Ted Kravitz, but then my buddy jumped into the lobby and he took the Ted Kravitz role and he ended up becoming Natalie Pinkham. Because normally he's a reserve driver, so he normally tunes in every week. God bless him, old Danny boy. He tunes in every week and he tries to give me a bit of info, bit of inside knowledge. But yeah, his title got taken, so he ended up with Natalie Pinkham's miniskirt and old Pinky. That's what we're going to start calling him, old Pinky. So we've got Little Pigeon. He's already out on track. He's very much an early riser. He's always out first. We've got Brasco's got the wet tyre on.
He's doing it. He's going for an Inter's pole here.
I think he's just rubbing it in your face, mate. I do believe after all that wet chat in the in the live chat, he's rubbing it in now.
This is it. I know. I'm getting some insults here about touch grass. I spend too much time on this game. I don't spend too much time on this game. I only really do sort of half an hour's practice before each race. But it's 10.9's possible in quali, boys. If I've done it, it means you all can do it too. I believe in you.
There we go.
Let's just see who we've got furthest round the track at the moment.
Little Pigeon, I'm on board with him now at the minute. Little Pigeon, he's going to be the first man, and he's been up there the last couple of weeks battling for the win. Him and Skizzo had barring a little bit, well, not a little, it was quite a large moment he had. Barring a big moment he had coming out of one of the corners, he would have been battling Skizzo all the way to the end, but he ended up falling 3 to 4 seconds behind him. And I think by looking at the standings, I think in the last 2 weeks, he was a late arrival also, Little Pigeon. I think the last 2 weeks he's climbed about 6-7 places in the championship standings.
Very nice. Good work so far then. Decent first sector from Pigeon as well. I think just missed the turn 1 apex a little bit, but the rest of the lap's been tidy so far. Keeping the car as far to the right, using the curbs. I love that. That's a nice little late night bit of a twitch on the rear end though, going through the fast S's. How committed is he here for the fast right?
Yeah,
flat out in 6. He's done that one before.
As it should be, as it should be around that corner. A lot of people, I think you'll find a lot of people, you could do, maybe you can drop down a gear, but you'll find maybe a lot of the people who run no traction will struggle to go full throttle through that corner. Again, it's all set up depending as well, depending what your setup's like. And this is just an absolute brilliant part of the track now. I'm so happy they've changed it. So happy. And we set the tone on 11.9. There we go. And we're going to jump on board with the next driver. Is going to be Miss Natalie Pinkham, but he's on his outlap, so we're going to go to the car behind, and that is an orange car. That's going to be Hassan Toya, championship rival of Milan. 11.8
here. Got a car right behind him that gets out of the way nicely. Who are we on board with going down to turn 1? Looks like one of the guys in grey. Is it thinking Mac and Cheese actually going into turn 1? Yes, it is. Nice touch of the apex here through 1 and 2. Keeping fully committed. How close does he keep it to the curb to turn 3? He's got to keep it tight, and he's done so. He's done that one before. Nice bit of practice.
That's nice. I'm on board with Rattigan at the minute. Rattigan goes 11.6. I don't often call that, but get in there, Rattigan, mate.
Well done, Rattigan. Good start.
Get in there, Rattigan. He's had a bit of a bad luck start of the season. but obviously we're in Spain. He's half Spanish now, Rattigan, with all that lingo he puts in the chat. So he's at, I'm going to call it now, he's at his home Grand Prix, Rattigan. We've got X-Grant just about to cross the line. He crosses the line. No, he's just started his lap there.
Yeah, I'm just going to go on board with my driver Trouser here, just to piss him off a little bit more. As he starts his lap now, I think. Let's see what he does going down into turn 1. He's running up to 200 miles an hour as he hits the brakes. See how he does the first corner. That's a nice bit of curb there. Good work. Obviously not running traction control in the dry, I think, and he's keeping it tight to the right again. It's a decent first sector here. Let's see what time it actually is. He's following my advice. It's a 21.6. It's a very respectable first sector here. See how he does. That is a nice amount of
mac and cheese
modulation here.
Yeah, mac and cheese just crossed the line, 11.6. And I've just clocked now, I see it in the Discord earlier, Brasco's got a quali ban, hence the wet tyre.
Quali ban. There we go.
And I'm sure somebody else has.
Trouser. Is he flat out through here? He should be. Yes, he is. Nice work there. Just runs it nice to the curb. Let's see what it's going to be going into the second Spectre split. It's going to be a 51 something, 50.5. My mistake here. It gets it rotated nicely. Very gentle on the throttle, but that's what you want to be. See what he does here. Keeps it in fourth and just finds it. Puts the foot down nicely. Using there's probably a couple of tenths in this just by pushing the limit slightly more on the next lap. Bit of a downshift here. Bit late on the apex, but he'll recover that one nicely. Not much time lost. He'll across the line for an 11.8. It's P4. There's definitely 2 tenths in there, Trouser, by pushing the limits, but it's a good first lap.
Fire Tuck just behind him. He sticks his car in 7th place, just in front of his teammate. We missed Speechy's lap. He's already back in the pits. He's on a 12.1. Matched his teammate there.
Starting his now.
He's one to watch. He's one to watch. Like I said, he's back to back, and we've got Milan on his out lap. Milan's just about to start his lap. So if you want Stiggy, you sit on Skizzo. I'll sit on Milan. Milan's current championship leader. He's just approaching turn 1. Pick his braking point about 80 meters. Gets it nicely turned in. Clips both apex. Don't want to ride too much of that second apex. Get the car chucked over to the left. Full throttle through turn 3. And now he's on his way to turn 4, and I'll let Stiggy now talk you through the bit of Skizzo's lap.
So here, going through the S section now, Skizzo's been using the Orbit track very wisely here, very fully committed into the fast right, puts it in 7th though. I wouldn't recommend that unless he's on auto gear. He doesn't have much of a choice. See how he does coming into the third set split here. It's a 50.8, so he's about 3 tenths off Trouser so far. He's on for a 12.1, a 12.2 at the moment. See how he fares up through the final sector here. Gets the car rotated nicely, good amount of throttle input. He's losing a lot more of the road, which is really nice. Have a look here if we go into the final corner. Very committed there. A downshift keeps the throttle quite open. DRS wide open here. It's an 11.9. Well committed. He's gained some time back. That's a good lap there.
Yep, so
but it was invalid.
Oh, valid lap. So we jump on board with Milan. That's been a very smooth lap so far. Very smooth lap. Just had to lift off slightly. Sticks himself in 7th place. And as Matt F1 UK, Matt, you're an absolute legend, my brother. He's just confirmed. I did see earlier on today that. There we go. There's Max. There's Lewis Hamilton's #1 fan. Mav, say hello to Jock, mate. But it was Jock's the one that normally gets rinsed in the chat. As soon as he joins, we just absolute slaughter him because he's Scottish. He's Scottish and he's a Motherwell fan and a Max Verstappen fan. So we just absolutely slaughter him to death. But yeah, Matty F1 just confirmed it is Teabag. Teabag is the second driver on a quali ban. So whether he just sits in, I don't know. Normally you get told to come out, do a lap and stick it in the box, but he hasn't done that yet.
So I just want to confirm that it is Jock in the chat here. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Jock. Robin Kelly is Jock. There you go. Honestly, he gives it all this Max chat, but me and Maverick, Mav, you can back me up, mate. Maverick can back me up. Jock took a selfie one day of himself in his bedroom, and he had a Lewis Hamilton duvet cover.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that is a bit rough.
Yeah, he had a Lewis Hamilton duvet set, and these pillowcases was one of Lewis Hamilton, and the other one was Toto Wolff.
Was one of them a little bit crusty as well?
Yeah, I do believe, mate. I do believe there was I think there was a dry sock by one of the pillars. Or no, let's stop that.
I'm just noticed here, it's quite a good, this is a really close grid. We've got three drivers in the 11.6s so far. Rattigan pipping Pigeon by 0.003 of a second over the first sprints here. Is there anybody on a lap right now? It's got Hassan's on a lap. He looks like he might be able to improve here and get himself onto a provisional pole. He's going through the final sector here. He hasn't got a lot of ERS left though. He might have deployed it slightly too early. We'll see how he does.
And I just see he's just over a tenth up when I clocked his sector time there.
That's a nice final corner there, using all the road. DRS wide open.
Committed.
Is it on for pole? It is. It's 11.6.
Another round in the set.
Hassan.
But I'm going to tell you now, Stiggy, I think the last couple of weeks, was it last week or the week before, the top 13 drivers were separated by 0.8 of a second.
0.8. This is a really close track as well. We've got... The good thing is it's quite a small track and there's not a lot of space to like gain a load of time, which is why you're seeing drivers separated by only sort of 2-3 tenths separating that sort of top 6 or 7 at the moment. Obviously, I'm expecting that gap will compress itself ever so slightly throughout the next couple of laps, but you'll have drivers here probably pushing the limits slightly more. I've already told Trouser off for it, but I will again because I'm in charge of him. Do better.
We've got Skizzo now, he's just out on his out lap, he's going to be wanting to push that pole time. We've got Matt F1's in the chat, your boys are holding first and second at the minute. He's look at the time, look at the time difference between Rattigan and Pigeon. Literally like a sheet of Rizzler between the pair of them.
I've got Mac and Cheese on board with him here there. He's always very deep, very wide, he's lost a lot of time there. Car's really struggling to grip. Let's see what his middle sector split is. 50.7, he is down by 2/10 on his previous best. I think you're better off boxing here, Matt and Mac and Cheese, unless you've got some time to gain. Save these softs, mate, and get under the set as fast as you can. But we'll see if he's in the stream listening. T-Bag's binned it somewhere, or has he just retired from the session?
No, he's retired.
He has responded.
He's on a quali ban. Them two wet boys are on a quali ban. We've got Skizzo's on his out lap. We got Pigeon on his out lap
as well. Trouser, if you're listening, mate, give me a little wiggle if you're listening. Wait for it a minute, see if he does a little wiggle on the straight. Let's have a look. Are you listening, Trouser?
So I'm in the zone, lads. I'm in the zone. Leave me alone.
Shall I phone him? We'll give him a call. Yeah. T-radio going.
Look at that, all of a sudden we've gone from 8 to 17 viewers in the chat. Absolute legends, each and every one of you. And also, before we get going, Stiggy, absolute pleasure, mate, again, to have you in the comms box, mate. Yeah. Absolute pleasure.
Said it's a bit of a rare one, this, but I will obviously thank you for letting me join you. Are we sharing the same seat or are we in separate ones? How are we doing this?
You're sitting on my lap.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
It come out my mouth, but then I thought about what I said.
It'll come out somewhere else as well if you're not careful here. On board with Trouser here as he gets a much tighter final corner here. DRS wide open. Let's have a look how he does going on board with him once more. Down now into turn 1. He's definitely running slightly quicker down the back straight. Definitely more committed. See how he hooks up the first couple of corners.
I'm currently sitting on board with Skizzo, who's just coming to the end of his lap. He's got 2 turns left to go. We haven't got a representative time from him so far, so we haven't really got something to offset it against. But knowing Skizzo as I know Skizzo, he's a very fast driver. He's going to be, there we go. Exactly. Couldn't have timed it better. 1:11.5. And he puts himself as the man to beat in quali at the minute.
So Trouser 0.5 tenth up or something in the first sector. He's using a bit more of the road. I can feel he's looking a bit more confident. Let's see how he flicks it in here. That's a nice line there going on the back straight. Let's see how much further he up is. 50.5 was his last middle sector, so he's up by just over a tenth. He's very close actually. I think he might gain a tenth or so in the final sector if he keeps it clean, keeps it tidy.
But being as close as this
squiggling, he's coming out, he's squiggling, but he's kept it in. Keep your foot down, Trouser, you can do it. Full commit. Come on, son. That's lovely. Keep your foot down.
That's nice. Nice exit there from Trouser, and Trouser managed to get into pole position. The legend himself. I was on board with Speechy there. Let's jump back on board with Speechy. Speechy said he had I see a comment there from Speechy saying he had a very poor lap, and I think he's had another poor. His tyres look absolutely terrible, so I think he's been off the track somewhere. Little Pigeon, we've got little Pigeon. He's currently sitting in 5th, and again, being as close as we are, lads, you don't have to go Pigeon's give me a little weave, so maybe he's not on a full flying lap
Pigeon,
at the minute.
if you're listening, Pigeon's bin it.
I think Pigeon's about done. I think Skizzo's retired. Skizzo thinks maybe he's done enough.
There's a little bit of time in the pits here. I think Pigeon, you may as well put a new set of boots on, mate. There's no point doing a lap with only half a battery, so box and get some new tyres on.
Yeah, that's what I think he'll do.
The session, but absolutely
I've just looked now, just a smidge over 4 minutes, so he's definitely...
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
That pit entry always gives me the spooks.
So Trouser, mate, if you're Trouser, I'm hoping you're listening to this. I think you're better off saving a set of softs here for the race and just keeping on the tyres that you are. That's a good lap, mate. Keep a set of fresh softs for the race.
Sitting on board now, slightly missed the apex in turn 1, egg off hazard, but he's another guy that again only needs to find a 10th and off, and he's pushing that pole.
Absolutely, he's given Egolf's lifted off. He's had enough of that first sector
there we go. I don't think he's got time to get in and change, so he's more than likely just going to sit in now, have a recharge lap, get them tyres warmed up before the end of the lap, and then he's committed now to doing, and that's not going to do his tyres any good. Mav, get on that radio, mate, have a word with your team. Mav's drivers, Mav the legend, these drivers are Egolf Hazard and F1 Dave Riley.
Got a lot of drive. Oh, on board with Pirate Danny here. Danny, I know you're listening, so no pressure, mate, but I am your teammate on Sunday, so get this out the bag. I am still supporting you. Let's have a look. That's very committed into the S section there, using all the road. Nice work so far. Keeps it flat to the floor. That's a nice corner.
I don't want to put him off, but come on, Nally. Come on.
So he's at 50.7, so he's slightly behind. There's a car park just off track there, but he is up on his previous best. I think he's aiming to get into the high 11s with this one here. Let's have a look how he does. That's a nice going into third to last here. Let's see how committed into the final, see how much road he wants to use. He's keeping his foot down.
How did he not get an invalidation there?
Hard. Danny, recharge a battery. If you've got enough fuel, Danny, recharge a battery and go again. You can do this, mate.
Yeah, he's got time to get round. He's got he's got what is it? A 111 as we've seen here, 111, 112 lap. He's got 135 now, 125 to get himself round. The only thing is
Riley here doing his final lap of the race. Have a look, see how close he keeps to the inside curve here. Letting the car drift out ever so slightly, but look at the pickup on the front right. You see what he's lifted off as well.
I can see that.
I don't know if he's waiting for one more, but you see what I mean with all that pickup there?
Yeah, he might not be able to get round, but yeah, he looks a bit flaky, that front right-hand tyre.
Egolf Hazard now. He's absolutely level. See how he's in the middle sector here as well. He's level once more with his previous best here. He's 0.03 slower than his previous. Let's see if he saved a bit of tyres for the final lap here. But you see the tyres starting to go. People are not improving right now. Someone's nearly in his way, but he gets round just nicely there. Not like going to get anybody's way. Keeps his foot flat to the floor. Bit of a downshift. That's a nice final corner. He will improve there ever so slightly. P4. He'll be happy with that result. Very happy with that result. Good job, Skizzo. Get out of the way of Mac and Cheese on the car behind, mate. Let him go.
Hassan's just crossing his line now.
Mac and Cheese is definitely running a really low drag setup. He was 5 miles an hour up on Trouser into the first corner. Explains so he'll be struggling in the race for grip, especially on the hard tyres and the mediums at the start. He's at 21.5 though, very decent first sector, but he is just shy of a 10th down. He's feeling committed though. I'm liking the use of the road he's got.
So if you haven't started your lap now, which it shows everybody's on a flying lap, you're not going to get yourself round. I think the next guy round is absolutely our Mike Tyson. The lobby's Mike Tyson, Friar Tuck, the slugger himself. Is he up on his time? He's pushing 111. He just improves ever so slightly, and he still stays where he is.
Spiky at 10th and a half up as well. Let's see if he's going to get some places from this. Should be on for 11.9 as well. He's 12. Oh, he's just beaten his
himself
teammate.
In front. Little Pigeon doesn't improve. That's a big surprise.
But Mac and Cheese has binned it. Mac and Cheese is off as well. He's gone wide. I think Trouser might have this in the bag. I don't want to call it too early. Who else got? Oh, he's a double DNF in the pit lane entry.
Oh.
Mac and Cheese is out. That's it.
There goes Hassan Toya. He's one, but he's off the throttle. Hassan Toya's not going to.
Hassan's off here now.
That is
unless Grant Trouser's done it. My boy Trouser.
That's his second pole of the season, I do believe.
Good work.
Trouser,
well done, Trouser.
You absolute legend, sir.
Well done, Trouser.
Boofing go.
Yeah, nice work, Trouser.
Manic, as we're in Spain, you got to give it a Rafael Nadal. Vamos! Vamos!
It is Fabri, son. It is Stavros. See.
Hey. Vamos, Manic.
I mean, that was a good lap, Trouser. Good work. And the best thing is as well, Trouser's got a fresh set of softs for the race.
Pigeon, be careful with them comments. Pigeon's just put in the chat, open season on Manic's rear. Now, if that actually does happen, I expect this race finishes at maybe 10:30. I expect by 10:32 to see a message. Pigeon has been removed from the server.
I'm just going to see if I can call Mark, see if I can just quickly make a quick phone call to my driver here. Let's have a quick look. I'm going to get live on team radio. See if he'll let me do it. Let's have a look. Come on,
yes, Mav.
Sunday.
Yes, Mav. QBR 1-0 up. We're getting nosebleeds, mate. We're up in the 15th place, mate. We're getting nosebleeds being that high up. We beat Leicester City last week, mate. Man, get in there. You wouldn't
Trouser
do
does
it.
not want the team radio here. He does not want that team radio. But let's fair play on pole here. 11.5 for Trouser and Skizzo. Look how close the grid is. Less than a tenth separates the top 6, and then only less than a tenth and a half for the top 7.
It's fantastic,
really
mate. I expect. I wish I had it saved. The old Kimi Räikkönen when you was just trying to ring Manic there. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
Leave me alone. I know what to
do. So we got 33 laps around Circuito de Catalunya de Barcelona. This is about, I've not mentioned it before, but I might as well mention it again. This is about where we're racing now, is about an hour and 20 minutes from my house. Actually, while he's in the chat, the legend himself, Speechy, was at this Grand Prix last year.
So we should have an insider knowledge of where all the grip is and where to bone my driver into turn 1 then.
There you go, Speechy, and not only that, the legend himself even got his missus to come out and watch the Grand Prix with him. Wow. Any man can get their missus into Formula 1, mate. Absolute legend. You need to teach me a thing or two. Yep, Speechy, I do know that, mate. I was only an hour down the road, didn't ring me and asked, oh, Mick, do you want to meet up? Nah, blew me right out, the fella. You know, picked Formula 1 over me. How dare you? It's alright, Speech. I forgive you, you little knobhead. Who my mate, Speechy? I don't know if you know Stiggy, but yeah, me, Speechy, Jock, we go way back. No, I say way back. Like, no, yeah, we went to school together during the war. No, but we used to race in another league before we joined this one. We kind of all joined this one together. So right, as I always do,
straight away.
On board with Manic. Skizzo's had a great start. There's Skizzo there. We're going to jump. Manic looks like he's on the hard tyre. He's got Hassan, he's got Rattigan just behind him, the two teammates. They don't want to. Madigan's had a. Oh, I thought he got a bit close there, but.
There's the last Skizzo's alongside up the inside here. Trouser probably needs to let this one go, I think, for the time being to keep his nose clean. You've got Hassan behind on the softs as well, goes up the inside. No, he doesn't. Trouser on the mediums as well, though. I think he should really be off letting Hassan by just to follow him through. We've got a virtual safety car has already been deployed. Looks like Riley's had a small spin.
Dave Riley
manages to keep it going.
So we've got Hassan Toya, we've got Little Pigeon. Little Pigeons fell down. Little Pigeon was in 6th place. That's the last thing he wanted to do, is lose 4 places on the start on them soft tyres. And we got Brasco from the back of the grid, all but one, I believe. He's now got himself up into 2 places. While we're on the virtual, let's have a look. We've got Mac and Cheese, we've got Milan, Pirate Danny, Natalie Pinkham. She's up 5. I even called him she. She's up 5 places.
On the hards as well. It's a good start for Danny then, and he's on the hards.
Absolute brilliant. Go on, girl.
People like Danny here, especially on the hard tyres, just need to settle into a decent rhythm here and just try and stay with the drivers. As the lights go green, everyone's got going again. Is Trouser having a run on Skizzo? Yes, he is. Going into the final corner here. He's going to have the overtake open. Let's go on board with Trouser around the outside into turn 1. Let's have a look here. Overtake wide open. Look at Hassan Toya behind. He's going to go underneath both of them here, maybe.
He pulls out of it, he's yielded that, There's
contact behind.
Contact the pair of them, I see that, he's caught a bit too much curve there, Hassan, and he had to recorrect. So now, we got the championship 2nd place in 14th, and we got JT Codd is not here this week. He's third place in the championship. This gives Egolf Hazard an absolute blinding opportunity to get himself right back into this championship. He's now in fourth place and he's in fourth in the championship. Radigan, look at them, the two boys. So,
Trouser here has got a gap of 1.2. If you're listening, Trouser, you need to keep that gap over a second. Use overtake to get yourself clear of that gap, but do not bin it. Don't push too hard. But I know you can get that gap over, keep it over a second, and just try and break DRS of the cars behind. I think the cars behind here, I've got to be fair, I think they should really start working together to get on the back of Trouser. I don't know how likely they'd be doing it, looking at what Egolf Hazard is sniffing the back of Mac and Cheese at the final, but look at the scrubbing of the tyres. A lot of understeer from all the cars so far. Trouser 15.0 on the second lap here. He's just trying to go, which is exactly
what
he needs to be doing.
As we see in quali, Stiggy, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. Oh, look at this battle here we got here from Speechy, Little Pigeon, Fry Attack. They're all here now. Look, even Pirate Danny. Look at that. You've got 5 cars in shot. Look.
This is nice and close here between all the drivers. A lot of respect being given so far. So far, no contact. Danny needs to keep his nose clean. He's on the hard, going for the long haul here. Up 8 places. He's got to just keep that nose clean and worry about the long game. Mac and Cheese defends his position well. Egolf Hazard is still sat behind. Looks like Little Pigeon looking at the outside of Danny here, but look how much overtake Pigeon has already used up. He's done a smoking cheese and dumped it all immediately.
He is an early bird. Little Pigeon. I've seen that before. But as I was mentioning just there, Stiggy, as we see in quali, he gets a hell of a drive. This is Manic I'm talking about. He gets a hell of a drive out of that last turn, where some people may be quite tentative on their throttle. Manic just goes full beans and he just gets an absolute. So we'll see now, look, going into the last turn, he's got 2.85, and look at that. Look at that, he's now come out a tenth and a half, 2 tenths up on Ratigan.
Yeah, he's doing lovely here. Egolf Hazard here, side by side, Mac and Cheese into turn 1. DRS open for 4 drivers. This is going to be close
Let's
here.
Get on the rear wing of Mac and Cheese. I'm currently sitting on the rear wing of Egolf.
They all got through clean. Someone's been shoved off onto the gravel, but they just about give each other enough room. Danny goes round the outside of Egolf Hazard, Kips P4. Is he going to have a bit of a whiff at Mac and Cheese at the earliest opportunity? Yes, he is up the inside.
He's going to get his nose in.
Very close.
Oh.
Absolutely great driving here. I mean, Danny so far very impressive. I'm very proud of him here.
Yeah, we do remember Mac and Cheese is also on the hard tyre as well. But absolutely. I do think now with 4 laps into the race, I do think Pirate Danny needs to calm his stilettos and just get himself into a decent routine. Mac takes a lot of curb there. Pirate Danny's going to have a nice run at him now. But this is the question. You get that DRS zone, you make a little bit of a mistake like that, like Mac and Cheese, you're forced into taking the position, but could Pirate Danny now play the smart game and let Mac have that position?
Still side by side to the final corner. Danny, though, gets the move done into final, but I think it does mean that Mac and Cheese will get DRS. Yes,
there
he will.
We go. That's
guaranteed
what I was
as well,
about.
but you've got Mac and Cheese, has got a much lower drag setup as well. He'll breeze by here. Watch him go. DRS open here. He goes around the outside, going into turn 1. Look at that. He's straight through. Very early on the brakes.
Little Pigeon goes for a late move. Oh, bit of nose to, bit of front wing to rear tyre. I'm surprised. Very, very shocked there. Pigeon did not go round. And Pigeon just lost it into the wall with Egolf Hazard.
No way.
I just caught that. I caught that on the rear wing.
Virtual safety car here. I need to get on board my team radio.
It's a full safety car. Full safety car.
Jack, if you're listening, use your overtake. If you're listening, just turn the overtake on if you're listening to me, mate. Let's have a look. Is he listening? Turn that overtake on for me if you can hear me. Doesn't look like he can.
Jack, who's Jack? Oh, Jack Trouser. Yes, that's your name.
Yeah, but I think he needs to consider doing hards to the end. At this point, the hards will make it 28 laps, whatever it is, so he's got enough.
But you think we're going to have 2 laps under the safety car as well, so you're looking at about 25, 26 laps.
It's absolutely an option. I think there'll be a couple of drivers who might take the risk. I think Trousers might consider it.
There we go.
He's going in.
Be careful of the pit entry, Trouser.
Let's have a look. Anybody else? Look at how Mac and Cheese very committed on the brakes. Looks like Pirate Danny staying out as he expected on the hard tyre. So Danny will take the lead here of the race. Trouser, though, absolutely fantastic start. 1.6 seconds clear before the virtual
Mac and Cheese just managed to get Rattigan in the pit lane. He drove right through Rattigan. Frankie boy, Frank's in the chat. Frank's in the
Blue
chat.
New Soul in the chat.
Frank.
Hello, Blue New.
I hope you're well, Frankie boy.
Let's have a look who's staying out here. So you've got Specbug in P13. I think he's still got a full wing intact, but he's on the hards. Riley as well, Skizzo. But I don't think it looks like every driver's managed to get out of that. So no one's DNF'd, but obviously there could be some structural integrity damage to some of the cars.
I do believe it was Egolf. It was Egolf and Little Pigeon, little Pigeon that come together. But yeah, we've got Teabag had a quali ban.
Trousers on the mediums. Trousers on the mediums. He's doing medium soft. Then looks like at the moment, unless he thinks he can do medium to the end and do these. Take these mediums quite far and then go back onto his
he won't be able to, because then he'll get disqualified. No, but if he does that, he'll get disqualified, won't he? He needs to run another. He needs to run another compound.
So I think he's looking at medium soft as his option here, which absolutely is a viable choice.
And Rattigan's pulled the same strategy. Rattigan was also on mediums also.
Look at Fryer pushing Rattigan down the straight. Look, trying to get an overtake on him. MMS gents. Manic, keep your eyes on the road, mate. Come on. Keep your eyes on the road, son. Just, you've got that fresh set of softs available at the end of the session, mate. Use those wisely, but it's been a great start. Good work.
So even with that contact he had with Skizzo right at the very beginning, Hassan Toya, we called it earlier, them hards could go to the end. And we know he's a very fast driver. Has he just pulled himself right back in this race? Them front four, albeit they've got to pit again. 100%. And every car in front of Hassan Toya has to pit again.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard old. The thing is, those tyres are going to start dropping off sort of lap 24, 25. I think they'll start to be a bit second hand. You got to bear in mind, well, at that point you're going to have the likes of Trouser on a fresh set of soft tyres, and he's going to be quick here. He's demonstrated his speed really well so far, but I'm intrigued to see what the likes of the top four do. They're going to have to stick to the strategy, but it might allow them to do hard soft as opposed to hard medium.
Yeah, could be. That could be a shout there, Stiggy. And if you're watching, Frank, I just want to update Frank. If you're watching, what was it, Stiggy? The top 5 quali, less than a tenth separated the top 5.
Less than a tenth of a second separated top. I think it was top 5 or top 6. It was a really close.
Absolute brilliant.
So far. But yeah, I mean, great work for Pilot Danny so far. I mean, he's up 12 places. Considering he's now in the lead, the biggest advantage he's got at the moment is cars have to pass him. I think it's unlikely that Spikey, T-Bag and Grant will get any moves on Danny, but those four need to work together. They need to stick in a DRS train with each other and just keep the medium runners behind. The Contrauser's going to be, and the fresh medium runners are going to be north of a second a lap faster than these. They can drive around the outside of them. The pace difference will be that big. So they need to be careful and think of the options they've got around them.
Safety car in this lap.
I'm just being told here, expecting rain towards the end of the race.
Yeah, and the message prior to that is from a team owner. We have, actually, let's make it right, a team owner from day dot, from season 1, Spartan Phoenix Racing, the legend Mab himself. He just puts in that he's been on the radio to both of his drivers, and they're absolutely dejected at being spun by other drivers. So we'll try and catch that in the highlight package. We'll try and catch, and by highlight package I mean incidents. Danny's gone.
He should keep his foot flat to the floor through here. Spikey has been caught napping, but he'll get a bit of a toe down the back straight. Speaking of napping though, Trousers already licking the back of Grant's gearbox. He might go for a bit of ascending to turn 1. No, he won't. He's going to have to keep that nose clean, I think, for a couple more corners. But look how much later Trouser can brake. He's all over Grant already. He needs to keep that nose clean and make a safe move around the outside. Let's see what he can do. He's in the draft. He's overtaked early. He's going to launch one at the inside here of Grant into the braking zone.
I'm sitting on board with Rattigan. I'm sitting on board with Rattigan. Rattigan wants to just follow Rattigan, and that's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to use Trouser as a buffer and just follow him through. Grant's missed his braking point slightly and gone wide, but I think Rattigan's going to have a much better exit. And he gets the move done now. Who's next one? Mac and Cheese. We know Mac and Cheese. He's one for going for a move when it presents himself. So Mac and Cheese. Are these hard runners gonna come a cropper to these medium runners behind? Now we got Trouser. He's already in. He's already on the back of Teabag, and you got Speechy just behind Pirate Danny. So Trousers going to want to try and get through these as quick as he can, albeit not helping Rattigan. Though he's already dropped Rattigan by 7/10, and this is where Trousers got a hell of advantage. And there we go. Look at this overspeed he gets on Teabag. Some of that must have been Hassan Toya fastest lap, maybe because he's got a bit of a gap, but Little Pigeon smashes that out. Speech is going from showing, his speech is showing down the inside. But here we go now. This is Manic's time to move.
Trouser just needs to keep his nose clean here. They will not be looking. Speechy will not be interested in what Manic's doing. He needs to keep the pressure on Danny. Manic might have a sniff around the outside as Hassan and Teabag and Rattigan are basically bumping wheels through that corner. Is Trouser going to dive up the inside? Yes, he is.
He gets the move done.
Speechy leaves the room nicely.
Speechy very respectful there from Speechy. Speechy knows. Speechy knows. Speechy's absolutely fantastic driver.
Speechy's just dropped it. He's just dropped it on the grass there, and he's kept it clean. A lot of drivers have got by, but Speechy can recover from that and carry on. Relax there, mate. As Trousers already on the back of Danny, he'll get him before he's weaving. Trousers very happy with himself so far.
And just a little bit of inside knowledge about Speechy. I've mentioned it many times in the chat before, but huge respect to Speechy. He's a pad racer, but on the pad. Yeah, but on the pad he races manual gears. On the pad.
Manual gears. Well, I mean, on the pad. Shout out to Jack Tyler, who does not do that. He runs auto on the pad here. DRS enabled. Trousers already taking the lead. He's that. And see if Danny going to follow him. Danny's not going to go for a move. Danny's going to stick behind.
I think Danny, with that gap he's now got behind Mac and Cheese, he can just let Trouser through. Don't battle him too much. Try and cling on to the back of him as long as he can, and use Trouser to pull him along.
100%. Yeah. I mean, he's got been quite thankful that they've already. Just about a second clear of Mac and Cheese at the moment, but I think Mac and Cheese will immediately get back in the DRS of Danny here.
Yeah.
But Danny's benefited from this quite well, as the expected medium runners apart from Trouser have not made it through on him. But it's going to be laps counting down, but Danny's got a lot of ERS available. He just needs to not fight them too hard and just stick with them and benefit from this later.
Oh, and he's had a bit of a twitch going through the flat right-hander. But look at that, he's up 11 places, old Natalie. She's having an absolute splendid race. Albeit he still has to pit, but I do believe near enough, maybe from Hassan, Egolf, Skizzo, maybe not, but 90% of the track, 90% of the pack do actually have to pit again, I do believe.
Yeah, and look at that, Trousers already got out of DRS, so Danny looks like Spikey's in the pits, might have some damage. Mac and Cheese here will go for a move on Danny. Look at this overspeed Danny Mac and Cheese.
I'm sitting on board with Speechy at the minute. I'm sitting on board with Speechy just to see if his pit crew have got a wing out, and it looks like no, they haven't. So it's just a standard strat call for Speechy. He goes onto the medium.
Just into box out early, so Trouser here on, he's got absolutely no ERS available, and Mac and Cheese got a little bit more. All Trouser needs to do is just keep that gap above a second for as long as he can. Thing is though, I think this is a section which is going to do it him, the extra overspeed that Trouser will have running a considerably higher wing setup here than Mac and Cheese, and you can see how much more it's benefiting. Look at the exit Trouser's getting there, being able just to fully commit to the fast right as opposed to the lift that Mac and Cheese has got to do. Trousers had a blinder of a race so far. I don't want to commentate this curse, my own driver.
I know that. FL, we got a bit of team principal chat kicking off in the team principal chat. I think one TP is trying to get a bite out of another team P. But yeah, we do have the Super Bowl, I believe, coming up soon also. So a lot of teams are going to have to qualify. I do believe, what's it, top 5 from each division? Top 5 teams from each division play out the Super Bowl. Well, the lead up to the Super Bowl, let's say.
Oh, there's contact into turn 1 here. Looks like Pigeon's forced his way through on Teabag. I think there wasn't any damage done, but Pigeon just braked a lot later than Teabag on those fresh mediums, I think, made it through.
I'm just laughing at Man's response.
The content of conversations in the chat.
I love it.
Know your place, young pup. Yeah, it's a fair bird, that is. Well done.
Frank's absolutely shocked. Frank can't believe it. Frank's going to raise a ticket over that comment.
When's the driver swap happening so I can get on Trouser's car and just, finish the race? I mean, Trouser's been doing fantastic. I actually noticed that his lap times were essentially identical the past 2 laps, I think. Yeah, so we just his lap 10 was a 15.022, and the lap after was a 15.021. So he was basically identical in sheer consistency from the Cupra SRT driver. But he's probably starting to push a little too hard, but he is able to cycle some battery back as Mac and Cheese is having to use it, and it's not benefiting him. The lower drag setup is not doing him any favours so far. It'll be even worse when the rain kicks in.
And Pirate Danny's, oh yeah, we've got rain coming. So maybe that's why he's got medium. Then he can go straight onto the inters. Then he doesn't have to worry. Speed Chief, first guy to pick up a penalty. But just saying, I'm sitting on board currently now with Hassan, who is behind about 11-12 points behind Milan, who's currently in 9th. But I told him last week I'm going to call him Mr. Superglue because he just always seems to get the job done. And now he's sitting here. If we don't have to go to soft, if it doesn't start raining, or if it does what it done to you boys on Sunday and rains when it's just too late and it doesn't have to change, he's in a good position here, Hassan, at the minute. I don't think he'll have to pit off them hard tyres.
He's going to have to do some tyre saving. I think at the moment it's going to both benefit and harm his race, Hassan, right now, because he's sat in the DRS train, which will mean he's not losing as much time as he would be. But I think he's having to push the front tyres and scrub them slightly harder than he wants to. The biggest thing to look out for, obviously, absolutely, are people like Trouser, who either boxes for the Inter when they come out or moves onto soft tyres when it's necessary. But you can see that the clouds are starting to form, and he's gapping as well. There's 4 double overtakes into turn 1 here, it looks like. Everyone's gone through cleanly though, but I think Pigeon just went through on Skizzo and Specbell went through on Brasco. But
Hassan's all over the back of Pirate Danny now. Hassan's going to go for a move around turn 3 on Pirate Danny. Pretty much got it done, but Pirate Danny ain't giving this one up too easy, but I think his tyres have to give it up.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be careful here, because what Danny doesn't want to do is lose more positions than it's worth. Danny needs to stick with Hassan for just a little bit. And as well, you can tell, look at Hassan's rear light flashing. He's got absolutely no ERS available. Danny knows if he can go by him again.
Milan pushes himself down the inside of Little Pigeon. Even that surprised me slightly. And we got Skizzo. He's just Little Pigeon's just lost out 2 places in the space of 300 metres.
There's a lot of pushing going on between all these drivers for dive bombs at the inside. But it's done relatively clear. I can't really see any people that have had to deal with contact and wing changes, apart from the little dink earlier on in the race that caused the safety car.
We've got Fire Tuck now all over the back of Rattigan. Is he going to make his move now on Rattigan? Rattigan's already flashing. He's already flashing like a man in the park on a Saturday. He's flat Rattigan.
For God's sake. Rattigan's got nothing left in a tank like he would be in a park.
No, that's what I say. He's flashing like a man is in the park on a Saturday night. Get himself a criminal record like that.
Egolf Hazard here looking inside of Danny. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's not. He's keeping himself clean here. I think Egolf has to wait for a safer overtake, because what he doesn't want to do is go for a dive and lose half a second making a stupid overtake.
You're correct there.
It's just not worth it right now. He's better off sitting behind, charging up some ERS and going for a clean move into turn 1.
I don't want to say it, as you mentioned before, I don't want to jinx it, but Manic seems absolutely in the zone right about now.
He's a cucumber right now. I'm very happy. I mean, he's just ever so slightly charging that ERS up, but he's not gaining much. It's a really hard track actually to gain ERS back, especially with
Tuck had a big tank slapper. Big. He just got a second. He just got a second over Rattigan, and he got an absolute tank slapper. And now this is where decisions come into play. I've seen it many times this season that Rattigan has had his teammate behind him. Here. No, but Rattigan, he could go, but then he's got his teammate behind him. And knowing Rattigan as I know him, he'll know that his teammate's in a championship fight, but he's gone for the move on Fire Tuck. So
he needs to make sure he keeps in front. I mean, if he backs Tuck up, Hassan can launch up the inside unexpectedly here. But I think those 2 drivers will be working together. Let's have a look at any more moves going on at the moment. No, there's a big train forming underneath the, it looks like the Pirate Danny train right now. But again, look at the cloud cover starting to form even more. This is falling more and more into the likes of the medium drivers play. As the track starts to cool, those mediums will work better and better. Lack of overheating will come into play, but those hards will probably start to slide. I think Danny will begin to suffer any time about now. You can look at the front end hesitating as he goes through the fast right here. He can just see it happy to screw a little bit harder there to get the car rotated.
There's a big switch there, Hassan. I was sitting on board with I was actually sitting on board with Hassan, but I wasn't. I was reading the comments in the chat. It's absolutely kicking off between the TPs in the chat. Absolutely going on.
The catch up here. She's very. I think it's all love, but I don't know. It depends on who you're asking. Don't ask Christian Horner what that is. He'll have no idea. Going to the final call out, Hassan Toye here as he opens his DRS. Is he going to go back onto Fryer Tuck? Let's have a look. I think he is going to have a look. Is Rattigan going to do him a favour and go underneath both of them? Yes, he is. He's going to go up the inside of both of them. He's going to yield.
Hassan pulled out of that, and I'm not going to lie. You know what?
Thing to do.
2 seasons ago, Hassan would have stuck that straight down the inside. But the Hassan of today, he's a much better rounded driver, got much better racecraft, got to be one of the most improved drivers. He's always been fast, Hassan. He's always, I'm not going to take that again, he's always been a fast driver. But his racecraft, like I said there, 2 seasons ago, Hassan would have stuck that straight down the inside.
Absolutely, It's something that I look for in drivers, really, is their racecraft. As he just rides over a sausage curb, Danny might look at the inside here. Hassan's not going to race this. Oh no, actually he is. He's feeling a bit racy today. But they go through side by side very cleanly there. Hassan's going to have a look at the inside. He doesn't want to give this one up. I think he's taken our comments a little bit too much to heart here, and he's getting very racy.
Singing around the outside. Remember, he's got Skizzo just behind him, the back-to-back winner. He's won the last 2 races.
Skizzo,
there we go. Let's jump off board on that.
Bit of contact, but he keeps it clean. Looks like there's no damage done here. Look, Danny, though, I think Danny in the pits.
Danny's pulled himself into the pit. Danny's pulled himself into the pit. I reckon that's a smart move there from Pirate Danny. Just get off them tyres. He's going to lose more time than anything. So
that's a good stint by Danny.
Yeah, great stint.
I think he was the fastest, old hard runner there. So credit where it's due. Let's have a look here. So Trouser again. He's keeping consistent in the first sector. Still just ever slightly charging the DRS up. Can't see how much wear he's got, but I'm expecting those tyres will be into there absolutely of a 25% wear window now. You're going to feel this the most in the sort of low medium speed corners, and just that front end won't be as on it as it used to be. See how much hesitation he's got.
To 3 seconds now. He's absolutely different league today, Manic. Absolutely brilliant.
This has been a great
start. You see Mac and Cheese behind him. Now I'm just catching up on the. Comments in the chat.
So Danny's on the mediums here, which means he's going to bring these mediums if needed to the end. I think the biggest thing for Danny right now actually is just to try and keep consistent lap times and drill it. If he gets past Spiky, you've then got 8 seconds of clean air he can make use of and just start to bring down the gap on the cars in front. He's going to be gaining hand over fist on the cars in front of him right now, and if they box again, they're going to have to do it back to him.
And also, I've got it on leader now. He's only 26 seconds behind Manic.
Yeah, that's going to be so. If he gets that down to sort of 21, 22. There is going to be a race on for this win, but Danny absolutely could be earning this as well. Keeping with it, trusting his strategy. Grant here puts on the medium tyres. Brasco, fastest lap of the race with a 14.5. Nice lap there for him.
The TPs, old Frank and Mav, we're not even racing. They're just calling each other out. I love it. But we know, with Frank, with Mav, we know it's all jest, mate. It's all jest.
I don't think it is jest. Fryer Tuck's binned it. Fryer Tuck out. Safety car's been called out here.
Safety cars come out. That's not what Manic wanted.
It's also, Manic might be okay here. It's people like Danny that will struggle. He's just put on a fresh set of boots. They're only sort of a lap old, so he won't be that hurt. But obviously,
but I'm only thinking if there is going to be rain coming later.
Drive-through penalty for Brasco.
No. But I'm thinking with Manic now, if the rain does come later, or is he just going to... There we go, he's answered my question. He's going to go straight into the pit.
Softs will go to the end. It'll be hard work, but they will go.
Let's just see what he does here. Pit, Skizzo pit. And remember, guys, with this close together, you don't have your own individual pit boxes. So some people could get double stacked, have we seen a few times this season.
Manic puts the softs on Mac and Cheese. Looks like he's on a set of... those mediums for Mac and Cheese, I think it might be.
Mediums for Mac and Cheese. Softs for Trouser. Medium Mac and Cheese. Skizzo's got himself up in the third, but I think that's just due to where his pit box is. Rattigan, soft.
Let's go on board with Danny. What's Danny going to do? How many overtakes is Danny going to get here? Is he going to jump past Egolf in the pits? Egolf will have his foot down. He's cleared him. He's cleared him. So Pilot Danny gets up into P7. That's not a bad day.
Not a bad shout now.
No, he hasn't lost a lot of time there. I think he's been quite lucky. That could have really. I mean, you think about it, even you know, a second slower, and he'd be looking at Teabag's Teabag.
Yeah, and I do think maybe Rattigan might have got held up in, because somehow out of nowhere Skizzo's ended up in third place.
Skizzo. So I think again there's already a smaller delta. I think here it's about half. I think probably 6-7 tenths of a second between the softs and the mediums for at least a bit. I think Trouser, he's done it once, he's done it twice. He'll do it again here. I think just needs to get that gap as you know, over a second immediately, and let the driver scrap behind.
Yeah, that's
Trouser,
what he wants.
if you're again, I'll ask you again, mate. Team radio, if you're listening, turn your overtake on. Let's just see if he's listening here.
Unlucky, Tuck. Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky, mate. Right, I'm just going to leave the comms in the hands of you for one moment, Stiggy. I'm just going to go and grab myself a drink. I'll be back.
That's all right. I've got myself a Stella right now. But let's have a quick look. Oh, there's a bit of echo going on as I think Nick's dropped his headset. But Trouser here absolutely had a stonking start to the race here. He's basically 3 seconds clear of Mac and Cheese, near his car behind. But he's had a great start. I think big mention to Pirate Danny, who stuck out on the hard tyres for 18-19 laps. Has been a bit unfortunate with a poor time safety car. But he's still happy. Those tyres are only a couple of laps older than the cars around him, so he'll be fine. See who's the biggest winners and the biggest losers so far. If I find it. So let's have a look here. So Mac and Cheese up 5 positions. So he's had a great start. Danny still +6. Biggest loser right now, Hassan. I think again Hassan actually has had a good race so far, but he's been held a couple of times, which is a bit unfortunate. Obviously Brasco is going to have to serve his drive-through, which will put him sort of 10-15 seconds off the cars in front.
Yeah,
the thing is, what he can't
basically.
You cannot serve your drive-through by following the safety car in, so he has to do a full lap of green flag racing before bringing the safety car in. We'll see how aggressive he's going to be. I think it might be worth him trying to break up the field ever so slightly, but we'll see how it goes.
And something's happened in that pit stop, because Hassan was 4 places ahead of Milan, and now Milan has jumped now 4 places, 5 places in front of Hassan, and he's currently leading Hassan in the championship standings. And remember, guys, today there's 3 races left after today, so not a lot of points up for grabs. All right, you get 50 points for a win, but not a lot of point up for grabs at the moment. So it's any point you can grab at the minute is going to be absolute precious.
Safety car coming in this lap here. Let's go on board with Trouser.
Yeah, I always do. I always lead off with the lead driver, and I go to a rear wing view to see what kind. But it looks pretty cloudy. It looks pretty cloudy.
Get a bit more grey. I think.
What's the weather settings? Well? What's the weather setting? Is it actual or accurate?
No,
because it is due. Today's been okay, but it is due to start raining here in this area tomorrow. We haven't had no rain today, so this rain possibly could hold off, or like you said, it could come around lap 29. Manic's got an absolute jump.
Caught Mac and Cheese napping, but Mac and Cheese's extra straight line speed will come into favour here. Is Mac and Cheese going to set up a dive bomb? Not from that far back, he's not going to have a chance.
No, definitely not.
I think Trouser needs to push hard and push well, up almost immediately. Let's see
this is where Trouser's tyres are going to come into their own now. Down that straight.
Look at the steer Mac and Cheese has got as well.
Yeah, but he's right up the back. He's just showing, he's making sure Trouser can see that grey car in his mirrors. But I don't even think Trouser's looking in his mirrors at the minute. He's just concentrating on that 3 metres of track in front of him. And he's just going to try and eke out as much time as he can and try and use these soft tyres. But then again, he doesn't want to attack too fast, too quick, or he could come a cropper at the end of the race on them tyres.
Yeah, it's a hard balance here because he's got to push hard to get over a second of Mac and Cheese. But I think at the moment Mac and Cheese will be on him at some point in this race, whether he likes it or not. But what I would not want to do is leave Mac and Cheese in DRS of Trouser. I think he's got a lot more straight line speed, and that's going to harm him And especially at the moment, they're both fresh tyres, so the difference of aerodynamic grip won't be as profound because the tyres are, because there's a lot of mechanical grip still available from both the cars. But you can see how much more of an exit that Trouser actually
he has been all night, all evening. He's been getting that exit out of that last corner, absolutely second to none. Egolf taking Pirate Danny.
Yeah, Brasco serving his drive-through here.
Unlucky Brasco.
Let's have a look. So Egolf gets through Pirate Danny here, but I think Danny will be won't be too upset with that in the moment. The little Pigeon and Spec Belgan Rattigan having a little ding-dong going into the end of the first sector here. Let's see what's gone board with Pigeon. Oh, Pigeon's all over the edge of the track here, using all of the track and kissing the grass here.
Just sitting very wide, very wide. Rattigan's trying to hold on now. Rattigan's holding on now. He's got Milani and he's lost that DRS to Skizzo in front. Skizzo is now finds himself in third out of not absolute nowhere because he's a great driver, but literally out of nowhere. He's now, after that pit stop, ended up in third. Rattigan and a couple of the others must have got held up in the pits. Must have got a double stack somewhere.
There's been some sort of double stack in play, which is a bit unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate, I think Mac and Cheese had a little bit too much understeer going into this final, the cut of third to last corner here, and Skizzo is now going to start breathing down the back of Mac and Cheese.
And this is what Manic's going to want. Manic's going to want, because Mac and Cheese has got to start looking behind him. And I'm actually on, but Skizzo's going for the inside.
There's a little bit of contact, but it's relatively clean, I think.
And look at that, there's Manic out the second now. Yeah, that's what he wants.
Yeah, I think this will benefit Skizzo a bit as well, because it means it will leave Mac and Cheese vulnerable. The problem is that there's no longer getting any toe between each of the drivers, but Mac and Cheese is having to push, but Trouser's got no overtake either. Trouser's having to use a lot of overtake to get clear, but he's I think he'll be thanking Skizzo at the end of this race for the help.
But we're halfway through this lap now. Yeah, we're halfway through this lap now. We're halfway through this lap now. Trouser's done what he needs to do. He's got himself out of DRS, and no doubt this is going to get Skizzo right on the back of Mac and Cheese, and then he's just going to have another go down the straight. But maybe I think this time he will get the move done.
So I think what Mac and Cheese needs to do here is let Skizzo go. I think Skizzo might have a chance of getting that gap down sort of 1.1 and then pushing hard in the first sector. Look how much overtake Skizzo's got. He could definitely get the gap down, I think, in the middle sector if he used to overtake. Mac and Cheese should not fight this if he knows what's good for him. Skizzo should just breeze by.
Yeah, this is going to be easy. But look, Manic has now got a back out to 1.6, 1.7.
Skizzo doing a stiggy and waving his DRS down the straight, saying goodbye to Mac and Cheese. He's taking my little wave. What's he playing at? But Trouser's got no overtake. Trouser hasn't got any overtake left. And
Brasco fastest lap on a 1:13.1. We've got Rattigan all over the back of Little Pigeon, but I think Little Pigeon and Milan have just taken Rattigan's place. He's got Egolf Hazard of Spartan Phoenix right behind them also. So he's the man under pressure at the minute. But Egolf Hazard, not what he wanted. We've got 9 laps left, we'll call it 8.5, including the one we're on. Now, what can Skizzo do with his time? Manic is still holding that 1.4, call it 1.3 now.
Yeah, Skizzo's pushing hard here. I think if Skizzo can get this gap above a second to Mac and Cheese as well, it will do him a big favour, because it means he'll have clear air from both, from the car behind. But he's done it. Skizzo's got the gap just over a second, I think, and they should be able to keep it just north, which is perfect for him, because it means Mac and Cheese will not benefit from the extra probably 9 million miles an hour he's got extra from all that DRS. And look at him pushing the ERS now. He knows Trouser's got no response to him. Look at this, it's down to a second already. This race is on.
Yeah,
this is on.
This is on. Skizzo's going for back. He said it in the chat earlier on before we started the race. Not only has he had back-to-back, he's going for back-to-back-to-back. And he's actually following through with his comment at the minute.
This is going well so far. I mean, Skizzo and Trouser, obviously both Sunday Legacy drivers. They've both been very good this season. So these two have been battling each other on the track already. But Trouser will begin to start feeling the pressure, especially if he's listening to this and I'm making his life worse. But I think
them tyres, I reckon them tyres, as we know, Skizzo's tyres could be getting slightly better. Manic's tyres are just not going to be getting any better at this moment. They've had their day. And he's got it under a second.
Absolutely. I think what Trouser needs to do here as well is almost just let Skizzo go and try and stick with him and get him back. The biggest loss here is if he fights it and Mac and Cheese gets back in DRS. I think Trouser needs to think about bringing home a second here, which is still possible. He's had the pace of a Mac and Cheese. I think maybe next lap, I think Skizzo will have a look on the back of Trouser, and Trouser should just let him go.
Skizzo's pulling over to the right, to the right hand of the track. Maybe doesn't want to get in that dirty air, but he's just going to take his time here now. Skizzo, we're on lap 27 of 33. We've got 7 laps of the race left, including the one we're on.
So let's just wash though. See how much more than wash of that of the through turn 3. I mean, Skizzo's scrubbing his tyres hard, sitting behind Trouser in turn 3. But I mean, look at the they're pretty equal. Low speed exit, but I think Skizzo's just those mediums are starting to work much better now than the softs. But it was the only option Trouser had.
Only option he had, yeah. You're correct there, Stiggy.
And I think it was the right one so far. I think Skizzo needs to stay behind Trouser here and get him into turn 1. And Trouser needs to just stick with him for a lap or 2 and try and get back underneath.
If he can, that's the question.
Absolutely.
So just while we're here now, let's just run through the standings at the minute. We've got Trouser in first. Could be all changed very soon. We've got Skizzo in second. We've got Mac and Cheese who's clawed back 3/10 on these boys in front. But don't want to go too fast because I believe here's where the overtake's going to come now. Man, they ain't going to fight that at all.
Is Skizzo going to give him a little bit of a wave? Yes, he is. Skizzo doing it again. He's waving.
I actually got that one on the stream. I got that on the stream this time.
That's nice. He's doing the Stiggy wave. Oh, there's some fighting behind Egolf, Hazard and Rattigan. Oh, looks like Egolf actually forced Rattigan off the track there. I don't know, but I saw Rattigan was definitely off the circuit. That one might go to the stewards at the end of the race, but looks like
maybe Mac and Cheese had a bit of a moment. Mac and Cheese had a bit of a moment. He's now fell 1.7. So his Trouser.
Look at Trouser, he's still with him. Trouser's still with him, and if Trouser can keep DRS on the next couple of straights, he'll have another look.
Yeah.
He might have another look.
He needs to stay. He needs to stay within this DRS though. This is just gonna help him. But the problem with Trouser is he's just got no ERS.
No, he's not going to do much favours here. But I think if he just keeps on recycling ERS for just a little bit, he might be able to get a look on Skizzo or just maintain a P2. He needs to avoid getting any warnings if he has any at the moment. But let's see. Trouser does keep well within the DRS of Skizzo,
and he's actually gapping Mac and Cheese.
Yeah, this is the right thing here for Trouser. So he's still fortunate because he's getting that gain off DRS. And Skizzo won't be pushing too hard right now. He knows he can just, keep Trouser at bay. I think Trouser just needs to settle into P2 here and maximise the results from a pole. I think the safety cars haven't done him any favours.
No, I don't think they have. But in saying that, he would have had to pit anyway. He would have had to pit anyway, so at least he pit under safety car and didn't lose out too much. But
it doesn't look like the rain's going to come down. It's still too bright out there.
Even if it does, even if it rains now, I don't think they'll have to pit.
Here coming in from Death Whisperer Gaming. Fuck my life. That's a
yes, Mav.
Good quote.
Now, this is all shoulda, coulda, wouldas, if I couldas. Will Manic just sit behind Skizzo, doing what he's doing, 3 second time penalty for Teabag, staying within that, try and build up a little bit of...
It's raining.
It's raining. Oh, here we go.
So I think
it's come too late though. I think it's come too late. I do think it's come too late.
It's going to be a last lap special here, and I think drivers running traction control will begin to get a little bit more pace as the rain comes down, but Trouser should be faster than Skizzo here because the soft will work better for longer in those conditions. Trouser might need to start thinking about getting on back of Skizzo, but again, he's kept a decent gap. Trouser's kept on the back of Skizzo. Skizzo's got more overtake now. Trouser's got more ERS to the Skizzo here.
Wow.
This is going to be a good little scrap.
Look at that, 3.5 to Mav.
Yeah, this is going to be... No, Mac and Cheese is struggling for pace here now.
And as you said, now, a lap and a half ago, I thought Skizzo was slam dunk for the win. Now, Trouser looks like the man that could possibly attack Skizzo. The only thing Skizzo has a big moment.
Trouser knows. Trouser can tell what's going on here. Trouser, I think he can sense, he can smell a victory.
But with this rain, is Trouser going to want to get this move done before they disable the DRS?
No, I think Trouser needs to go for this on this next straight. I think
on the next straight, I think I'm with you there, Stiggy. I think I'm with you.
we'll see how he exits. I mean, Trouser's able to still run a bit tighter, but Skizzo's able to push that car. I don't know if Skizzo's running traction control. I don't think he is, based on his throttle position. No, he's not. Skizzo's not running TC, I don't think, based on that throttle positioning. But Trouser is all over. Oh, Trouser using all the road.
Trouser's giving it full beans. Here we go.
He's going to go for it. Trouser's going to go for it. I think Trouser might have a look. Skizzo, though, he's having to use all his overtake. Trouser hasn't got this one in the bag, I don't think. I think it might be slightly too late.
I think he's going to leave it maybe till next lap. Yeah, I think it's going to leave it till next lap.
It's going to be tight, but he knows how much
I think you're a bit late for that, Mav. Team Radio, rain and fives. Speechy's been first man to pit. Wait, no, Brasco's already on the inters. But Speechy's got a 5-second time penalty. I don't think.
It's way too early on the. It's absolutely wrong tyre on the intermediate.
Nah, you ain't gonna. It ain't gonna come down. Even if an absolute humding's down now, the track's still gonna. It's gonna take 2 or 3 laps for this track to get into that state for intermediates, and we've only got 2.5 laps left of the race, so we're not going to use it as
DRS is open here again. Trousers just start. I think Skizzo's got able to got a little bit more ERS available, but
no, I've just had a look. So Trousers got slightly more, but if Trousers going to make his move, he needs to make it now, I believe, because
he cannot afford to go wide here, though. And he has gone very wide. But I think he doesn't matter too much about penalties right now. If that's only his second warning. Skizzo, though, using overtake, he's getting too far away. He's not going to get it from 6 laps back unless
so Mav's going to have to
put his battery. He's going for it. He's going for it. Is he going to?
He's not going to be close enough. And we know Mav's not a night. We know Mannix is going to come down to. Skizzo's gone wide. We're going to have an absolute one-lap shootout between the pair of them.
Yeah, Trouser just needs to not get the penalty.
This is going to absolutely be a finish.
Skizzo is struggling now.
Yep,
so this is when those soft tyres start to come into play, because they're just a slightly better rain tyre than the mediums, because they're able to the softer compound. So I mean, Trouser will be noticing Skizzo struggling here, but we'll see how Trouser holds up.
Little Pigeons managed to take Mac and Cheese up in the third.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go. The last thing we want now is to see on board. Well, the last thing Manic wants to see now on the screen is DRS disabled. He wants that to stay away.
Yeah, there's rain spots on the track now, so it's not impossible. It'll get called. I think now would be the time to box for it.
He has another moment there, Skizzo's. He needs to keep it tight now. Manic needs to keep it tight. Skizzo's the one that's run wide. This is Manic's moment now. He had a slight little lift off to kind of reset, so here we go. Is he going to be close enough? He's dumping everything out on track. Is he going to be close enough? I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move. No, he's not. I believe Skizzo was dumping all what he had also. This is where Skizzo had his moment last time. Manic's going to keep an absolute tighter line round the corner.
Yeah, I mean, Skizzo's able to use that car slightly better, I think, through the fast corners, but look at him struggle. He just can't keep the car tight at all.
No, he can't. Yeah, he's missed the last 3 or 4 apexes, but he's doing what he needs to do.
This is Look at
and he's gone wide.
The car rotated.
So Manic absolutely has to smash this chicane and that flat out right and try.
Yeah, this might be as much as a break into this corner now. Look how wet it is. If either driver goes wide here, it could be curtains.
I thought Skizzo
ran
wide
Trouser needs
there.
to bring home a P2 here. I think he just needs to bring home what could be, unless Skizzo drops it anywhere, which seems quite unlikely.
And in these conditions now,
anywhere, it'll be here.
Yeah, it's going to be Mac and Cheese has managed to get back in front of Pigeon, but I'm sorry, lads, we can't go back to that action at the minute.
And I think they're fighting right now. They're still fighting each other. Oh, there's a lot of cars. Been a lot of contact in the cars behind, but
Max dropped down.
Skizzo is going to take the win here today.
Skizzo takes the win.
Yeah, I mean,
followed
fantastic
by
drive from both
Trouser,
drivers.
followed by Little Pigeon, followed by Milan, followed by Egolf Hazard. But Egolf Hazard would lose out to Hassan. And look, the championship rivals only 1 place apart. Followed by Mac and Cheese, followed by Egolf Hazard, followed by Pirate Danny, followed by Rattigan, followed by F1 Dave Riley, followed by Grant. T-Bag seems to have left the session. Followed by Speechy, followed by Brasco. Now,
yeah, I mean, that was a fantastic race. I mean, obviously, big shout out to Skizzo there for winning that. I mean, Trouser, though, he did a great job. Mate, you did really well. Nice work. You know, I mean, you did great that race.
Yeah.
Those conditions ends are really hard. I mean, you were put up to a task there that, you know, it's just, I think probably maybe 1 or 2 laps later, if that last safety car was called out 1 or 2 laps later, you might have won this. But good drive.
Now we have to. I always wait till we get back so I can see people's positions they've gained. Driver of the day for the game was Pirate Danny. Now, between me and you, Stiggy, we need to have to pick a comms driver of the day. Let me just run through the order, and then we're going to pick a comms driver of the day. So we've got Skizzo, followed home by Trouser, by Little Pigeon, by Milan, by Hassan Toya, by Mac and Cheese, followed by Egg Off Hazard. Pirate Danny up 5, he ended up at the end of it. Rattigan, F1 Dave Riley, X Grant, Speechy, Brasco, Teabag, and Friar Tuck was the only DNF. Now, commentators driver of the day.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't. I mean, I think it's a really hard one to call this because I mean, Trouser and Skizzo swapped positions in the end. But I mean, you know, Danny. I don't know what happened at the end, but I mean, he drove really well that race. I think he just got a bit unfortunate with his positioning, but I mean, Trouser kept his nose clean the whole race, but Skizzo did just as well.
Yeah, so it's very hard to pick today. And
I don't know what you want to call it. Can I give it myself? Do I count as a driver or not?
No, tonight, even though they're not. Consider, do you know what? He got the win, but considering the race he had, I know he lost out in the very last lap, but his pole time was brilliant. My commentator driver of the day has to be, and I've awarded one to Skizzo before, but Manic, you're my commentator's driver of the day, mate.
Well done, Trouser. Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I think
I would say
his quality time was fantastic, and you know, being able to pull away as well on you know multiple occasions, he pulled away after a safety car, and you know, I think I said 2 or 3 laps later, if that safety car got called, Trouser would have won that. Those soft tyres were just going to start being past their best sort of 2 or 3 laps earlier than the end of the race. So
yeah, and Hassan makes a great point there as well. Remember, Skizzo had an incident with Hassan in turn 1 and was at the back of the pack at 1. But you know what, like I said, Skizzo's gone back to back. Skizzo won commentators, and I don't try and do it like that, but like Manic had 3 seconds gap twice, but honestly, it would have been big shout out to Pirate Danny as well. But my percentage wise would have been 50.5% Trouser, 49.5% Skizzo. Wasn't
use, but that one.
Yeah, mate, wasn't a lot in it, mate. Wasn't a lot in it, but. Pigeon, appreciate that, little pigeon, appreciate that, buddy. But yeah, gentlemen, that was your drive to survive on a Wednesday. It was Spain, round 9, back for round 10 next week as always. Appreciate every single one of you. Was up at 22 viewers at one stage. Big shout out to my video yesterday also, couldn't believe it. Checked my video yesterday, or checked it this morning. From 9 o'clock when I streamed it yesterday to this morning, Stiggy, my video yesterday had 97 views. That's brilliant, lads. I can't thank you enough. But yeah, and last but not least, Stiggy, absolute legend, brother. I've said it to you before.
So much.
I'll say it to you again. Always welcome, mate. Always welcome.
It's a pleasure to be in the comms box. You know, I don't get to do it very often. I won't quit the day job, but I appreciate it as always. And yeah, thank you for letting me share your space once more.
Absolutely not a problem.
I'll let you take off the final. I'll let you take this.
Yeah, cheers, Stiggy. I'll see you, Stiggy, on Sunday in Legacy. And gentlemen, as always, you can catch me, Mick, you know my YouTube, Sunday Legacy, Tuesday Master, Wednesday DTS Horner. And if you can't make my stream, always make sure, if you can't make it live, always try and watch it back if you can. And don't forget our other comms team as well. We've got a brilliant comms team here in this division. You can check out Fear Raptor on Twitch, and you can check out Armin and Frank, who are an absolute great comms duo themselves. Yeah, go and look for their socials, go and look for their streams on the Discord. And again, absolute pleasure, lads. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all very soon from Spain. Adios, amigos.
Adios.